If you've been following my YouTube channel, you know very well that I share here a wealth of different practices, tools and techniques when it comes to pleasuring each other better in the bedroom and outside of it. But something that I hear quite regularly from you guys in the comment section under my videos is, okay, that sounds amazing, but I do not have anybody to actually share these different practices with. And I hear you. I completely understand that yearning and that desire. So today I'm going to share with you my 5 best tips to finding your partner. My name is Helena Nista and I am your favorite sexologist online. And this is the place where I answer all of your questions about sex. So make sure to browse my channel to see what else might sound interesting to you. So the struggle of finding a partner and being in the dating world for somewhat prolonged periods of time is something that I know very well from my own personal experience. In fact, I do feel like I've been single for most of my adult life, so I have a lot of practice and experience in that world. And if you are following my personal journey on my vlog channel, then you will be aware that I have actually recently met someone very, very special. But it wasn't necessarily easy or it wasn't quick. I actually resumed dating a year ago, and within that year I met 6 gentlemen, of which this was obviously the last one. So what I'm about to share with you comes from my most recent experience of dating for the last year, but also of dating over the many years of my life prior to that. And one of the most common or easy ways to find a partner is to talk to your family and friends. The social circle that you already have in your life, your friends and family, know a lot more people than you know yourself. So it's very likely that they can actually introduce you to someone interesting. They know you. You can tell them what exactly you're looking for to give them a better idea of who would potentially be a really good match for you. Plus, these people will come with that kind of social proof of having already been approved as a friend to your friends and family. So somebody that your own circle or people in your own circle can already vouch for as a good, decent person. This is in fact the way that I met one of the men that I dated recently. We did meet at a social gathering. A friend of ours had a party and we both were invited. I did express to her before that I was single and looking for a man, and it turned out that she already had somebody in mind for me. So it is worth to checking in with your friends and family if they know someone right for you. The second most common way to meet a potential partner for a dating situation and hopefully for a relationship is through events. I personally love going to events, to festivals, to concerts, to workshops, to seminars, and I do meet a lot of people at this kind of setups that mostly become and remain my friends, and in some cases I also date them. And that was in fact the case for 2 of the men I met over the last year, out of the 6. Plus, over the many years of being a self-proclaimed workshop junkie, I did meet a lot of people and a lot of men that I did end up dating over the many years. So I'm sure that there are events and seminars or meetups happening in your area as well. So have a look around, check what's happening, what is organized by whom, and what kind of topics would interest you when it comes to going to such places. An added benefit of meeting somebody at such events is that you probably have something in common. You probably have some interests in common already because you both decided to go to this particular event. And whenever you do go to this kind of places and events, obviously it's important how you present yourself and how you're perceived by the people that you are interested in. So taking good care of your appearance and making sure that you do everything you can to maximize your chances of being attractive and attracting somebody that you like is quite important there as well. And if you'd like some handy and practical tips and advice, make sure to watch this video next. And yes, I am going to say it, you need to be on dating apps. Well, you don't need to be, but that will potentially be very helpful when it comes to your dating life. Out of the 6 men that I met over the last year, 3 came from a dating platform. And one of those 3 is currently a person that I am in a relationship with. So I completely understand you when you say, I don't want to meet somebody on a dating app. I'd rather just meet them in real life, organically, spontaneously. Yeah, I share those thoughts. And yet I just cannot see where and how I would be able to meet my partner if not through a dating app. So I have absolutely no regrets about having been on a dating app, and you shouldn't either. In fact, so many people in the modern world meet each other and form relationships after connecting through a dating app. So it's perfectly normal, it's perfectly natural. We live in a digital world. And speaking of dating apps, let's just touch quickly on dating profiles, the way you build your profile, how you present yourself online. Please make sure to put some care into your profile, into building your profile. I've seen so many bad profiles where people put barely any care, the photos were bad, or there was so little information about them in terms of any kind of write-up about their personality that, I'll be honest with you, I would just swipe left. I would just discard their profile straight away, because if that's how little they care about being on a dating app and about the way they present themselves to potential matches, then that just doesn't speak highly about how much they will care about actually the process of dating with me. This one is a little bit more tricky because approaching people and talking to people that you don't know can be, or is actually, quite challenging for most people. But the truth is, we all meet so many people, so many potential matches wherever we go. At work, at the gym, when we're shopping, when we're out and about in the park, etc. And while speaking to a person that you've spotted, you've seen somewhere, and you've identified as a very attractive person that you would really want to get close to, that obviously is difficult. It is actually much easier to talk to anybody else, particularly if you're not that invested in the outcome. And this is a good thing, because this way, talking to people that you don't necessarily want to go out with, you can practice your confidence and your ability to approach anybody. So make it a habit to just start up little conversations with people wherever you go. Just introduce yourself, make a comment about the day or about something that's happening or about their outfit or about something that they are doing. Be friendly, be open with your body language. Don't be too intense. Don't try to straight away get their number or get anything happening with them, but instead just make it a habit, so that just talking to anybody, just chatting up people wherever you go is easy for you and natural. This way you can really develop that skill in yourself, so that then when you see somebody you really want to take out for a drink or for dinner, then it will be so much more easy for you to actually speak to that person without completely losing your cool or getting completely overwhelmed with stress and anxiety. And if you'd like to learn some very powerful and practical tips on upping your seduction game, then make sure to watch this video after this one. This last thing I want to discuss with you and tell you about is not so much a technique, but more so a very important element, an aspect of dating, of being in a dating world, so that you don't actually sabotage all your efforts. And that is your mindset, the way you see and perceive yourself in the dating world. So the question you need to answer is, would you date you? And if the answer is yes, awesome, you're off to a great start. But if the answer is no, then that definitely needs to be addressed and looked into. First of all, why? Why wouldn't you date yourself? What is it in you that makes you an unattractive partner to be with? And how can you address that? How can you change that? How can you actually become somebody a lot more dateable? Also, where's your focus in terms of value exchange in that dating situation, in your potential relationship that you're looking for? A lot of people focus on what they want from another person, what they're looking for, what their ideal partner looks like, who they are, who that person is, and what they have to offer. But what's a lot more helpful and productive in the situation is actually looking at what you have to give. What do you bring to this dating situation? Why would somebody want to choose you and be with you? Would they date you? And who do you have to be to deserve this kind of wonderful lover in your life? Also, it is actually helpful to be clear in who you are looking for. It will help you to not waste time on people that you just wouldn't even want to be with. And this form of self-sabotage is actually quite common, and I did even notice it in myself at some point when I was dating online, when I was swiping through the dating app profiles, because I did have a pretty clear picture in my head of what kind of men I was looking for. And yet still I would come across profiles who didn't match that at all, but the person seemed intriguing and interesting. So I would think, oh, I'm just gonna go out with this person just out of curiosity, even though I really have high doubts that I would actually ever be able to be with them in a relationship. So I feel like this is important here to recognize whether you're dating for fun or whether you're dating for a relationship, because if you're dating for a relationship, then you really shouldn't be wasting time on people or wasting their time if you're clear that this is completely not the kind of person you could end up with. And when I clarified that in my own head, and when I came to a realization that this is what I'm doing, I'm just wasting time by dating somebody or going out to somebody or even chatting online to somebody that doesn't tick my boxes, that I'm clear that this is not the kind of person I want to be with, then I really sped up the process of dating and meeting somebody good for me, because I wasn't sabotaging my dating life by going out with people that weren't right for me. And finally, one more way that people sabotage their dating lives and their relationships is that they don't give the connection time to develop. It is very normal that once you meet somebody, you might have doubts and questions in your head. You might not fully feel the spark straight away. Like, these things take time. Yes, it is important to feel at least some level of attraction towards that person, and to know that this could be something they're ticking your boxes, or at least a good number of them. You like this person, you like spending time with them, but if you still have questions or doubts about the connection, give it time. Don't rush this process. Don't just jump to the next profile, the next person, looking for that absolutely perfect fit where they will tick all of your boxes, and straight away the passion and the excitement will be through the roof. That actually very rarely happens, and that is actually a quality of a person who is not ready for a relationship, because they're just going to sabotage and jeopardize any kind of potential connection by always thinking that there's somebody better out there, by having this FOMO about missing out on somebody better. Well, that's just not how this works. You meet somebody and you have an initial attraction or initial sense of intrigue, or a sense of, I see you, I'm interested. I don't know for sure yet what's really here. Let's explore this. And that will take weeks or months before you really have that full answer to, can I really have a relationship with this person? But in many cases, once you have a good foundation of being attracted to each other and liking each other and enjoying each other's company, then by spending that time together, you will actually build on that foundation, and you will actually develop something that is special and beautiful, romantically speaking, instead of discarding this person too quickly because you don't feel completely and madly in love with them immediately from the start. And if you're a man looking for a woman, then I think you will really enjoy my online course, What Women Want. This is a powerful online journey for any single gentleman, because you'll be learning about women's deepest wants, needs, and desires when it comes to the relationship and the bedroom. You will learn how to be successful in the dating world, how to meet the most amazing women, how to seduce them, and how to pick one that you want to be in a relationship with. You will find the link to the course in the description bar below, and I look forward to seeing you there.